Hello and welcome to another Watcher of Realms video, and in this video I am going to be showing you my team in the Echoes of Woe because it might help you based on how I did my placements, so and so forth. And basically we'll jump in and it's Echoes of Woe. You have to complete the little story mode first, the Tower of Turmoil, and then obviously I think if you get 3-star and everything you get a little bit of reward, so I can get some more diamonds here. I didn't actually get 3-star on that one. Echoes of Woe, 1.5 million is the kind of aim, and I did just kind of scrape that. Obviously, you can score way higher. There are people who have scored way higher, but you only need 1.5 million. But even if you don't get 1.5 million, the higher the better. You're just going to get more daily rewards. First up, we are going to have Nightmare and the Star Piercers. And if we go in, this is the team that I have used. I did pull Neza, and I'd say he is really good for this. Obviously, he just has really good AoE damage, and there's a lane at the top that you need to control 2 lanes of, and he does basically that by himself on the ground, and I have Torador tanking the other lane. I'm just going to get into it. We're just going to get straight into it. Basically, you want to take down the boss as quickly as possible, and I found if we place these guys like this, and I only need to heal Hex, we can take down the boss reasonably quickly. He doesn't do crazy damage at this point. The boss does more damage when the waves are here. And once Hex's ult starts, the damage really starts to pump up a little bit. The great thing about the placements here is you get an auto refund, which is actually really important. And we're going to actually abuse this a little bit. So like you're going to see, Wukong's going to get refunded to me, and he's going to go into my roster, and I can place him straight away. See, I can place him straight away, which is obviously great. We've got auto ults on still, and we're going to place down 2 range damage dealers just to take out the tails, like this. We'll also place Wukong and place Neza, because Neza will get refunded as well. And then we'll sell him, and then sell her. And basically we're going to stack melee on this lane. I'm going to leave a gap here because I'm going to place Wukong there. And then this is basically how we're going to roll in. And this just basically means we can take out the boss quicker by having an extra couple of placements here. They'll get like free refunded. We just want to do as much damage to the boss as possible. The only thing we've got to worry about is if they get killed, then we don't get a free refund and they actually go on to cooldown. So we've got to be careful there. And what you'll see, they'll get refunded. There we go. And that's perfect. That is perfect. We can also sell Hex at this point. I actually have to wait for my placement of my range damage dealers, but I can time it a little bit on the tail swings. So we're going to place down the range damage dealers again. We're going to place down Neza. And we won't do Torador, actually. We'll do her because we need to have the heals. And we'll place down Wukong over here. And the second these guys take out the tails, we'll just sell them again. So now I can place Torador right now. And now we don't have to worry about doing damage to the boss anymore. We just have to worry about keeping the lanes alive. We've got a lot of damage on each lane. And the quicker you kill a lane, the quicker the next one respawns. And doing damage to the enemies is what does damage to the boss now. So we need to stack as much damage as possible. We're going to have... This is the bottom lane, how it's going to basically end up with me. I'm going to have Hex here. He's just going to add an extra damage. If you have Silas, it might be better than Hex, to be honest. Because Hex will do stuns, and it might actually slow it down. And then we're going to just double stack the 2 ranged characters up the top that I have. Ivar is going to go down first. And he'll cover the portal like this. And then she'll cover the front. And I've got auto ult on. And then we can just let it roll forwards. And it's just about hitting, you know, a good enough score. I could maybe hit just under 1.5 million here. But you kind of get the idea. And like I said, every time you complete a wave, like we'll complete this wave, we get points, and the next wave spawns in, And then periodically the boss will do some AoE damage. And I think it's based on clearing waves. So if you complete a full wave, i.e. top and bottom. So if you do too much damage, your healers are going to have to keep up more. And I'll be honest, the healers in this group, these two groups, are not fantastic. I don't think there's any good healers in Nightmare. And the ones in Star Piercers, I mean, they did the job. I can't be too harsh. They did the job. If you're at about 1,000,000 points by the 2-minute mark, that seemed to be pretty fair. Like in terms of that worked out quite well for me. And I'm about 1,000,000 points at the 2-minute mark, so we should be okay. I've already got my points today, but this is just a bit of a showcase. You might not want to auto-ult just to switch between Neza and whoever your range characters are up here. If you didn't pull Neza, you're going to have someone else who's really heavy AoE. I think someone like Hatsut would actually be really good on this because really good damage and has bouncing shot and really good ultimate. So instead of one of the other range characters, a Hatsut would be good. She's Nightmare, of course. So that's great. I wouldn't use anyone like Greed unless you're going to build him damage. Just because the slows aren't really going to help you. Also, you can't portal snipe these characters. Like, you can't have people faced here left because they're invisible. So, and they don't become visible until they get blocked. This is something to note. So I might just scrape 1.5 mil here. We'll see. And it looks like we will. And that's basically my team, how I set it up. And unless they change the map layout, this is pretty much what I'm going to go for on every map. So it becomes a kind of character thing rather than a setup thing. And some of the maps, I'll just quickly look. Some of the maps are a bit easier than others. I might make videos for each one just to show the characters I'm going to use. It doesn't show. But I'm guessing you're going to have, you know, Infernal in some of these. Watchguards, Northerners, Cultists. Cultists will be pretty tough. Cultists could be pretty tough. We'll have to see. There are some characters in Cultists that are obviously good. Northerners will be quite nice. It will really depend on the combo. So for instance, Nightmare, terrible when it comes to healers. If I go in here, you can see it shows all the characters. If I just go to healers, that's it. And there's not a single Nightmare healer. So they kind of got unfortunate that they got teamed up with one of the worst healer groups. But it still seemed to work. But there are better healer groups, of course, and tanking groups. Northerners have good healing, good tanks, and they have really, really good AoE damage if you've got like Ardea, you know, these kind of characters on ground units. But they don't have much in the way of ranged. So you got, it's a fine balance. It really depends on the combos. We've got this for the next, you know, 5 or so days, and then every 2 days it will give us a new team. But hopefully this little like run through has been very useful for you. Obviously, use your best gear. There's not really much point me showing you my gear. The best gear you have on your account is the best to use, and try and get as higher points as possible just to get this, you know, as many rewards as possible. It's pretty much as simple as that. Hopefully my kind of placements has helped you. Melee unit stacking seems to be the way, and just a bit of support from the ranged units. Like I say, hopefully that's useful. Thank you very much for tuning in to my video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.